ordered the death of the entire nation of Canaan, the city of Heshbon taken from the Amorites, a bunch of killing there, all of the people of Bashan, 24,000 Jews who followed Baal, all the Midianites except for its virgin girls.
And there were 32,000 of those virgin girls according to the Bible.
Now, how big does a city have to be in order to have 32,000 virgin girls?
Funny you should ask, because I actually did all the math on this yesterday for the Nonprofit Show. In order to come up with an average of about 32,000 teenage girls or virgin girls, and this covers from the age 0 to 17, you need a city with a population of a little over 300,000, roughly the number of people who were in the city of Tampa around the year 2000.
Wow.
Minus
its virgin girls of Tampa.
Yeah. Everybody in Tampa who lived in Tampa in the year 2000 who wasn't a virgin girl, kill them all, and that's basically what you've got when they wiped out the Midianites.
Was it standard among the ancient Israelites for young ladies to remain virgins until 17? Where'd you get that figure from?
No, that was the only calculation I could come up with. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. It would have probably. You figure, when I had relatives a couple centuries ago who got married at 13, and we know that the average age for kids to start having sex now is 16. We got a bug in the studio. But, giving them the benefit of the doubt, you'd still, obviously if not every girl under 17 would have been a virgin.
Right.
So,
but some old maids that are still virgins at, 40.
Yeah, that was the other thing, is that I'm pretty sure, how would they go about figuring out who was a virgin and who wasn't?
Let's not even go there quite yet. Continuing, everyone in Jericho, except for Rahab, who was the hooker who betrayed her city, Achan,
God loves hookers at the point.
How do I pronounce this? Achan, and his family, who had nothing to do with it, for stealing. Everyone in the cities of Ai, Makkedah, Libnath, Jarmuth, Gedder, Hormah, Arad, Adullam, Bethel, Tappuah, Hepher, Apheth, Lasharon, Madon, Taznach, Megiddo, Kedesh, Jokneam, Dor, Goyim, Tirzah, and all of the Amorites, all the people in all of those cities ordered killed by this deity, now worshipped by Christians. The men of Bezek totaling 10,004. The people of Jerusalem, Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai. The people of Zephath, Gaza, Ashkelon, Ekron, and the king of Moab, named Eglon. The army of Sisera, I'm having trouble with these ancient names. The army of Sisera and the men of Karkor. 20 cities destroyed by Jephthah at God's command. They didn't even bother to name those cities in the Bible.
That's interesting, because we talked about Jephthah not too long ago. He cut a deal with God. He basically said, God, if you let me wipe out these 20 cities, I'll sacrifice the first thing that comes out of my house when I get home. And of course, that was his young daughter. His only child. So,
Oh, that would be a human sacrifice.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was. So there's 20 cities that Jephthah took out based on a bargain of human sacrifice.
But I'm starting to think that, compared to mass murder on the scale of thousands and hundreds of thousands, one human sacrifice sort of pales in comparison. Let me continue. Samson killed 30 men who solved his riddle, the Philistines, and tons of other people when he died. 50,100 men of the tribe of Benjamin, the Ammonites, the Philistines, and the Amalekites. David killed a whole bunch of people at God's command, totaling 331,269. Solomon killed 3 people. There was all of Jeroboam's extended family, all of Baasha's extended family, 450 prophets of Baal, 793,000 Jewish Baal worshippers, 127,000 Arameans, one man who, because he refused to strike a prophet, an unknown number of Moabites, 172 people, including Jezebel, Ahab's sons, Joram, their priests, and their friends.
And their friends' priests.
And their friends' priests. Thank you. Ahaziah's relatives, numbering 142. All of Baal's followers, and in this case, no number is given, but we can assume the Baal followers already killed in the previous references don't count. Athaliah was killed. Matan, the priest of Baal. 10,002 Edomites and 2 servants. All of the pregnant women in Tirzah.
That's one of the most absurd things I've ever heard. That the Bible would account for, we killed 10,002 Edomites and 2 servants. Rawr! It was a glorious day.
That reminds me of an episode of Blackadder, where Blackadder, they have the war, and Blackadder is lying about how many opponents he slew on the battlefield, and he claims that he slew 50,000 peasants. But they don't count, do they? No, only in the case of a tie. Hezekiah killed 20,000 people. 500,000 Israelites killed one another at the command of God. 50,000 Ethiopians. 23,000 Seirites. Haman's army of 510 people. More of that army, 75,300 people. And we're finally done with the things actually listed in the Bible. That totals, are you ready for this, folks? More than 2,017,956 people ordered, killed, according to the Bible, by the God of the Bible. This is not even counting 65 entire cities listed in the Bible as destroyed and their residents slain by order of the God, where they didn't bother to give the exact figures of how many dead. Compare that, if you will, just for contrast. In the entire Bible, you know how many people Satan kills?
I'll
tell
Job's
you.
kids.
Job's kids. Satan kills Job's children in the Bible. And that's only after God told him that he could.
Bummer.
Which, as far as I'm concerned, means put Job's kids on God's total. So, I don't want to hear any more of this nonsense about this God being a God of peace and love.
Yeah.
If you're still following this monster, I just have to ask you why.
It reminds